So, so, August has ended, which means that, of course, it's September, which means that I'm getting a year older because it's my birthday in this month. Specifically the 6th, if anyone cares about that. The 6th of September, I get a year older. But none of you care about that. You care about the Manga Log. Ow. That probably was really loud. I didn't think that through. Anyways, yes. The end of August means that I'm going to tell you what I read in the month of August. There were a few good ones that I read, and a lot of more series that I finished in August than in other months. Also, I read a bit more than usual, which is always fun. So, let's get into the numbers. There's going to be more than last month. So, 1. Manga volumes read, 38. Comics volume, none. But finished ones are 4. I have finished 4 series, meaning that I actually didn't have a month where I was just buying, reading continuations of series. I also read a few new ones this month. Not that many, but still a good amount. So, let's get into what I finished. Yes, let's get into what I finished this month. So, the 4 series that I finished this month are as follows, which, most of them were 3 out of the 4 of them were only 3-volume series, but I like them all the same. Starting with this one, it is Witch's Love at the End of the World, which is a very interesting one, set within a world that's sort of similar to our own, where there are witches, and if they fall in love, they lose their power. But, of course, they're going to. And it's centered around these 2 lovely ladies, who are Alice and Mira. And, they fall in love. It's self-explanatory. They fall in love, and it ends pretty good at the end, and I really liked it. There was a bit... I kind of wish that it went a little bit longer at points, but it was still very solid. So, go on, read it. It's only 3 volumes. If you like Yuri, go. Speaking of Yuri, the next one, which is Strawberry Fields once again, which is lovely. Look at that. It's adorable. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was cute, especially at the end, where they finally got together. And it's about time travel, oddly enough. Essentially, Pure, who's this lovely tall lady, goes back in time to meet Akira, because they eventually get married in the future, but Akira at one point in the future said, hey, it would have been great if we actually saw each other and met each other earlier in life. And then she's like, cool, do that. And there's some time travel stuff, and I can't really explain too much about it because it would spoil the rest of it. So go on, read it. I love the ending. It's cute. It's adorable at the end. This ending of the 2nd volume made me go no, how could you? So yeah, go on, read it if you want. Go on. From there, the other one, that was another 3-volume series that I finished, is I always get this wrong, Dwellia? I fucking get this wrong all the time. Started buying this, I think, around last year, and then I thought it was going to be a lot longer, but it was only 3 volumes. It's essentially revolves around these 2 ladies and their friendship. One's a demon, one's an angel, and the insanity that ensues when you are friends with the person that's trying to take souls and the other one that's trying to get them up into heaven. So, very interesting. This is also done by the creator of Witch Hat Atelier. So if you like the art in Witch Hat, you'll love the art in this. It has a lot of good art. A lot of fantastic art that I would say is great. Look at that. Dwellia just being yo, demons on all that. Really good, really awesome. Pretty short, sweet. It definitely could go on longer if they wanted to, put it in like an anthology series type deal where it's just like these characters get into weirder, wackier situations. And yeah, there's not really a major plot in through it, but I love it all the same. But speaking of a major plot one, which is something that most people saw coming, if at all you know the state of mangas, and that is Demon Slayer. The final volume, volume 23, came out. I actually got around to reading it. I bought it like 2 months before, but got around to finally reading it. And it was alright. I do have like things to say about Demon Slayer as a whole. Maybe I'll do a video about it at some point, but is it good? Yes. Is it the greatest of all time? Probably not. But yeah, the ending did feel a bit like rushed, but I didn't think that it was too rushed. And nothing stood out to me as like, good God, why did they do this? It all fit within the world that the creator was aiming for. So yeah, it's great. I loved it. I wish that whoever would like to read it, go on, read it. There may probably be a box set at some point, but I don't know. I don't plan these things. So yeah, it's good. Really enjoyed it. Just another the 4 that I finished this month. So 3 very short ones, and Demon Slayer finally ended. Next month we'll have a few other ones that are ending, but really solid that I would love more people to read. So yeah. Now let's go on to the ones that I started this month. There's only a few. And by a few, I mean 3 that I started this month. So it's not too crazy. It was majority more along the lines of continuing on and finishing up a few series here and there. So the 3 that I started this month are as follows, and one of them is long. Because of course it is, because it's an isekai. We have, she professed herself pupil of the wise man, which is an isekai. Essentially, the premise is, dude gets stuck in a online game, and he was essentially a bearded old sorcerer, but right before he logged out one day, he changed his character to be like this girl, and then all of a sudden he turned around, and all of a sudden the world was he was in the game. So but yeah, he was essentially like a really high level character in this weird VR MMO, which at some point, if we ever get to the point where it's like the VR MMOs that are like in Sword Art or this or any other games that are like any other genres that are like that, never want to deal with it. I'm going to get stuck in that game. Based off of prior knowledge, we're all going to get stuck in that game. So don't. But yeah. Anyways. I thought this was okay. I may continue on with it, probably. Who am I kidding? I'll probably continue on with it if I have absolutely nothing else to buy at the store one day and be like, fuck it, Volume 2 came out. Yoink. So, yeah. Artwork-wise, it's not the most groundbreaking, I would say. It definitely has generic feel. It's not too crazy, and there are other people stuck in the game, the world that they're in, and yeah, I don't know, it feels generic. Maybe it'll change if read further on, but one that didn't feel generic, and one that I would love to continue on, and I should finish like watching the actual anime for it that came out, and that is Peach Boy Riverside. This is a good one. This one is so good. It's essentially the plot of it. Momotaro from that one folktale in Japan about the dude that the old couple that found this kid in a peach, and that kid grew up to get like the task of killing all ogres with a dog, a monkey, and a bird, and then he did it. And essentially it's like, oh man, that's great. But what if that story didn't end and he's like, I heard that there's more ogres other than the ones in Japan. Time to go a-killing. And it is fantastic. Like, it is great, and I would love it to death. And yeah, it's awesome. I really like it. And Momotaro, fucking scary. Like, look at this guy. Look at that guy. He is drenched in fucking blood, and he's smiling like a goddamn madman. I loved it. Would like to see more of it, and essentially, yeah, it's great. I won't spoil too much of it, though I will say that essentially, the premise is, well, actually, I can't really spoil too much of it, because it's only the first volume that I have. It's not really a spoiler. It happens within the first... Okay, I'm going to say it. Essentially, this girl is like him, but in a different land, and she, like, I don't know if she also was found in a peach, but she also has weird craziness when it comes to fighting ogres, so it's great. It's great, and it only shows up by the end of this volume, so it's not like, oh god, you spoiled something that was going to happen ages ago. Anyways, it's great. I would love it. I'm probably going to continue on with it even in the future. I don't know why I said even there. Good. The third one that I started this month, the one that I had saw many a times, but it wasn't until the Manga Softy was like, hey, you should go read it in one of his videos. I'm like, okay, fine, fuck it. You know what? How bad could it be and all that? Well, it was fucking hilarious. Mashal, Magic and Muscles, was goddamn hilarious because of comedic timing. Like, Jesus Christ, it's funny. Like, there were several points during this where I was reading it and just had to stop because I was laughing. Like, the artwork isn't going to blow you away, but that comedic timing, like, Jesus Christ, the creator, Hijima Kimoto, I think is how you pronounce their name, you, my friend, should be a comedian as well as this. Because, good God, I think I saw Volume 2 at the store, but didn't get around to picking it up because I was buying a lot of other things. But, Jesus Christ, I'm going to buy more of this because it's funny. If the comedic timing is still there, I will love it. And, like, oh man, it's great. Like, but yeah, the art will not blow you away. Also, like, certain characters, I'm like, that looks like McGonagall from fucking Harry Potter, or that looks like Dumbledore. That looks like Draco Malfoy. The dude looks like Harry Potter if Harry Potter decided to drop that wand and pick up that iron, you know? Like, the gains on this man. It's fucking hilarious. Oh, you just sponges. It's great. It's great. So, on to fucking. Oh, just remembering that shit. Oh, God. Ooh, okay. On to things that I continued reading this month. Oh, Jesus. So, manga that I have continued this month, I chose a good amount, though. Not all of them, because this video would be twice as long. So, starting off is How Do We Relationship. I really like this one. It does get me annoyed at points because people should just communicate and talk about certain aspects of relationships. But yeah, essentially, I think I've talked about this. If not, for anyone that doesn't know, it's essentially about these two ladies and they're dating. Miwa, wow, Mira, and then Yukiko. These two. By the end of the first volume, they are in a relationship, and it's essentially how they are dealing with the relationships as well as past. And this one is just like, just talk. That's all I wanted was from them, is to talk to each other. But I did like it. I really do enjoy it, because it's one of those situations where they're in a relationship. It's not like other romance manga where they are just trying to get into a relationship and by the end they get into one. No, they're in the relationship by the end of the first volume, and they are working towards a better realization of how a partnership works, which is great. But I just wish that they talked more. It's the same, no matter what. I just wish that they would talk and explain their feelings with one another. So, yeah. I will also say that I didn't realize this when I picked it up, but apparently someone with a box cutter got a little too close when they were taking it out of the box. But it is what it is. There's like one or two other volumes on my shelf that are like that. It always sucks. I try to make sure that that's not the case, but I think this was the only volume 3 in the store at the time, so it is what it is. But yeah, really good. Really enjoyed it. If you want to see a relationship develop and not just the entire one hoping that they become actual thing by the end of it, go on, pick it up. You may get annoyed like me about their not telling the full thing in their relationship. It is just what it is. So another one that was kind of interesting that I read. I think I talked about this in another manga log, but maybe I didn't. I think I was just waiting and feeling it out, essentially. And that is Call of the Night. Call of the Night is essentially about this kid, Ko, who is an insomniac, and then at some point he meets this lovely lady named Nezuna, I think is how you pronounce her name. And she's a vampire, and he's like, oh, cool. Can you just turn me into a vampire? She's like, sure, but the way that you become a vampire is that you have to make me fall in love with you and all that. And it's essentially sort of like that. It's him trying to get her to, him to fall in love with her and her to fall in love with him, and then her bite him and become a vampire. It's interesting. I think the third volume was going to be setting up with more vampires showing up, so that's always interesting. But I really enjoy it. It's definitely at points when I was younger, I had pretty bad insomnia. Sometimes I do still have that, but it is what it is. So really good, really awesome story, and, it's great. Artwork reminds me of something that I can't remember about, but it was interesting. Where there was pretty good, or am I thinking about the first volume? There was a pretty good page in the first... Oh wait, no, there was definitely one here. Yeah. Oof. I actually do like this. It actually shows some stuff. But yeah, it's great. It's awesome. Really enjoy it. Definitely would recommend it. I probably was going to continue it after the first volume, but I didn't know 100%. But second volume definitely solidified as we are learning more about the world, as well as the characters are developing within each other. But the next one that I'm talking about that is definitely very different is No Guns Life. No Guns Life, I think I really wanted to talk about this because the 13th volume is going to be coming out, and I think that's the last volume of this, so not a particularly long series, but I loved it all the same. So No Guns, No Life is essentially a cybernetic soldier, Jinzo, who after a war is essentially a detective type deal. And he has a fucking gun for his head. And the ensuing chaos type deal about it kind of reminds me of cyberpunk type feels, where it's this giant corporations are technically ruling the world, and it's really a lot of people are heavily cybernetic. I think the term is called extended, and like this giant war happened, and there was a lot more of these extended people, and it's pretty awesome. Like, world building wise, definitely interesting, and yeah, I liked all the characters in it so far. Love to see how it's going to end. So go out, read it if you want to feel like read a cyberpunk type story with a dude that has a revolver for his head. So yeah. Next up on the list is one that I started reading at the beginning of this year and absolutely like fucking enjoy. And I remember first seeing it on, again, the Manga Sloth. His wife was reading it, and I was like, oh, fuck it, why not? Because I don't have a wife or a significant other. So all this is mine. All of it. But anyways, Perfect World. Perfect World is very good. It's very interesting. It definitely makes me annoyed that certain aspects are happening, though I will say I think it's going back to where I thought it was going to be. But yeah, it also reminds me, if you're in a relationship and other people are saying you shouldn't be in that relationship, maybe sometimes, I'm saying sometimes they're probably right, but other times, if you're both happy in that relationship, don't fucking listen to them. Like, what the fuck? There's many a times where I'm just like, your family's telling you not to be in this relationship with him, but you, like, oh man, there was, so stupid at points where I'm just like, just work it out and talk. There was that, but then there was also the external forces, and I'm just like, fucking talk to one another. And set your boundaries as well as set what you actually want in the relationship. And who the fuck cares about anyone else? They don't matter. You two people are the people that are supposed to be happy. Think about your own happiness, not the other people around you sometimes. So, yeah. I think they're going to go to that way in the next volume, hopefully. I don't know, I just bought it. So hopefully I will. But I probably won't get around to reading it until like fucking October. Because that's how it always goes. So, the next one, the one that I have actually a video on my channel, that I did last year at some point. I think it was last year. And highly recommend it if you can find the earlier volumes. I've heard that the early volumes are hard to get by, but you know, if you're able to get them and you're able to read them, then read Boongo Stray Dogs. It's great. It's great. Look at it. It's great. I absolutely enjoyed it when I was talking about it in the manga talk that I did on it. It's up on the screen somewhere, but yeah, go out, read it. It's great. And little backstory, if I remember, Boongo Stray Dogs is essentially literary stray dogs. That's like the actual title of it, translated and all that. But it's really good. The villains that they're fighting in this is awesome, and it left off on a cliffhanger that I'm just like, yes. So yeah, go out, read it if you can. So good. Yes. All right. But yeah, those are the ones that I've continued reading this month. Just a sample size of them. A lot of good ones. A lot of ones that are sort of making me annoyed at points, but at the same time, really good. So yeah, I think that's the end of the video. So I'm just going to walk off screen one more time and then hop back in and end the video. Okay, that was the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that you had a good time. I hope you found some manga that you would like to read. I always love having that, and also hate having that because it just increases the amount of money that I need to spend on manga. It's never ending. But still, if you read anything enjoyable this month, put it down in the comments. I would love to know what you were reading. If you read any of the ones that I read, go ahead. Also leave it down in the comments what you think about the stories progressing. So yeah, very awesome, good stories. Some meh, but you know, it is what it is. yes, I hope you had a lovely August. Don't do anything too crazy. I know schools are going back because I have to drive past one to go to work. Damn you. Yeah. If you enjoyed the video, go ahead and leave a like button. If you didn't like the video, go ahead and leave that dislike button. That's what it is. Do it. Put a like button. Hit the like button instead of the dislike button. Maybe. If you want to see more of my stupid fucking face, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It's always interesting. If you have any other questions, I don't know what I was going there. So, yeah. Be safe. Stay cool. It's a fucking sauna out there. It's a fucking sauna in this room because I can't have air conditioning on or that fan or else it gets too loud. I don't know, go outside. I think it's still sunny and, stay safe. There was a hurricane. Stay safe. Read manga. Stay safe. Read manga. Stay safe. Bye.